Have you ever wondered how economists measure the total economic output of an entire country, and if that measurement has changed over time? Gross national product, or GNP, saw widespread usage primarily from the mid-20th century, specifically after World War II, up until the late 1980s or early 1990s. During this period, it was the primary metric for gauging a nation's economic performance before largely being supplanted by gross domestic product, or GDP. The core reason GNP was the preferred measure stemmed from its focus on the output of a nation's residents, regardless of where that output was produced. For decades, this provided a clear picture of what a country's citizens and businesses, owned by those citizens, were contributing to the global economy. However, as the world became increasingly globalized, with multinational corporations establishing operations across borders, the distinction between what was produced by residents and what was produced within a country's borders became more crucial for understanding domestic economic conditions. This shift in economic structure made gross domestic product, which measures all economic output within a country's physical borders, a more relevant indicator for domestic policymaking. Understanding this historical transition is essential for anyone interpreting past economic data or engaging with older economic analyses. When you encounter reports from before the 1990s, keep in mind that the economic health of countries was primarily discussed through the lens of GNP. Being aware of this change allows for a more accurate interpretation of historical trends and helps avoid misjudging the underlying economic realities of those periods. One interesting detail is the conceptual difference between GNP and GDP. GNP measures output based on ownership by a nation's residents, while GDP measures output based on geographic location. For instance, the profits from a United States-owned company operating a factory in Mexico would contribute to the United States' GNP but to Mexico's GDP. Conversely, the output of a Japanese-owned car manufacturer in Kentucky would add to Japan's GNP but to the United States' GDP, although GNP is less central today. Some countries and international organizations still utilize a closely related metric called gross national income, or GNI, to understand the total income received by a country's residents from both domestic and foreign sources. Ultimately, the evolution from GNP to GDP as the leading economic indicator reflects a fundamental adaptation in how we quantify national wealth in an ever more interconnected world. It highlights the importance of choosing the right metric to accurately reflect the economic dynamics relevant to policy decisions, focusing on what happens within a country's borders to better inform domestic economic strategy.